What's going on? How we living, y'all? What up, YouTube? Welcome to episode 17 of the BMF Reverberation podcast on the Konfidence in the Klutch network. You already know, man. Let's jump into it. What we know so far. Season. Episode 201. Meech is by himself, no T. Meech is a buyer and needs K9 to plug him. T is trying to do the right thing. LaWanda and T Jr. return. Lucille and Charles have issues. The family business is slow to make money. Coach Brian switched out the gun for B. Mick, has a new partner and is pressing B. Mickey for information. T is head over heels for Markeisha. Meech wants to merge the 50 and 12th Street boys into BMF. K9 kills Big L and gives Meech her lips and 20 kilos. B. Mickey is walking that tightrope. Maddie had to kill Kato and wants to stay out of jail for the two bodies he has. T finds out Lucille pushed LaWanda to leave him to force T out of the dope game. We find out Lamar is alive, baby. Right? Where we at? Episode 202. Meech is getting groomed by K9. BMF is setting up in Cleveland. T is struggling with Charles with how to run a family business and who runs it. Lucille opens up a credit card and Charles is pissed about that. They have an honest conversation. T gets to business, more clients, and stirs up trouble with another car service, Touch of Class. Charles hires another driver, a white woman named Denise. Meech sets up with Cuzzo James in Cleveland and gives him a player deal to Rail, who crosses Meech. Meech pays Rail back by helping moms with groceries and upping the strap on him in their house. B. Mickey gets help from Brian with moving to his mother to a better hospital, and B gives up the stash spot. He's officially a snitch now. Lamar kills a cop and escapes the hospital with his cousin Alvin. Yeah. Episode 203, we find out that Meech has a baby with Mo, who has a baby with Lamar. Meech's cousin James said he got jacked, but he really took the money. The D is headed for a drought. The nation's headed for a drought. T and Nikki get into an accident. Touch of Class damaged the tires. B. Mick gave up a rival crew, not BMF, to Bryant. K9 wants Meech to bring Travis to him alive. Lucille brings Pastor Swift into their bedroom talking about Charles's ways. Charles doesn't like it. Meech is starting to see the effects of crack on his people, which is an addiction. Markeisha keeps giving T game. D fights back with Touch of Class with T, sugar in the tanks of their cars, and ruin Teeks, the owner of Brake Line. Brian showed B. Mick the ultrasound picture of Kato at a makeshift mobile morgue. He wants B. Mick to tell Meech he has a new plug. Jen deals with trauma from her past and saves a vet. B. Mick and Meech find Travis with Peaches. He busts, and they bust back, killing him. Lamar woke up out of a body bag, showed up at Zoe's school, and left them cream-filled Cadbury eggs on Mo's door. B. Mick doesn't commit to setting up Meech. Lamar rolled up on the crew and shot Meech. Episode 204, Meech caught 3 bullets. T came and took Meech from the hospital for safety reasons. Right as Lamar showed up at the hospital to kill Meech. Jen has Lamar and Meech at the station. The first one that yaps about who shot who gets to walk. BMF needs work, and B. Mickey ain't feeling T coming back and making decisions for BMF when he's number 2 in control. T gets Markeisha to hook him up with Boom. Boom gives them 5 kilos. Lucille was right, checking them hypocristians. Some of the 12th Street boys step off from BMF, and Lamar killed them both for turning on him. T gets Denise to move 3 kilos for him to Lansing. She gets caught up by Brian and Jen. T has to leave the D for his fuck up and Meech for his safety. T and Markeisha get it in before he leaves. They head to Atlanta. Episode 205. Meech and T catch up with cousin James. Meech whooped his ass and takes his car. Meech and T have a conversation about the mothers of their children. T worries about Mo treating her nose when she's Denise's lifeline. The boys went to Earl, their boy, with $15,000, all the money they had for work, and he said not a drought. He advised them to find Pint. They met up with their guy, Ty Washington. Goldie amps the boys up to shoot the dice and lose half of their bread. Lucille wants to go on a church retreat. Charles ain't having it with turmoil with the boys. Tells Denise she faces life. Denise gets pressed by the boys with life. Mo comes in and gives the offer of doing a little jail time, and they will pay for her son's college tuition. Lamar is out here chin checking cats for their money and jewels. Ask about Pint and ask for a front of 15 kilos. Not in the drought is what Ty Washington said. The boys roll up on Goldie, and she arranges to help them get their money back at another dice game. Boys make that money that they lost, $7,500 plus some, back at the game. Lucille accuses Sister Riley of sleeping with her husband, and Charles sleeps with Maple. Bryant is trying to understand his son and his ways. He's just trying to be a good dad, but his son doesn't want to fight back. Gets B. Mick to handle the boys fucking with Kevin. Ty agrees to sell them work, and they found out Pint is Ty's guy. He charges a kilo to whip it up and shows T how to whip it up. T says he's back in 100%. Nicole called T about the man who killed Darius is at the house. Lucille prayed with Lamar, and he left the house soon after. Episode 206, the boys are back at home looking for Lamar. Lamar rolls up to this record shop and kills Saki. Brian shows up to the scene talking shit to Meech. Meech wants to bring in the PA niggas at Soul Night. T tells his parents he's done with high school. Charles wants to take Lucille out on the town. B-Mick has a heart-to-heart with Meech about them not calling and T being back in the game. Lamar takes a dog, call him Blackie. Meech shows up to the Soul Night and helps PA in the fight. A bond is formed. Markeisha calls T after Boom kicks her and the kids out. Jen and Brian stake out T and have a moment. Brian takes 2 kilos from evidence to have B-Mick serve Meech. Charles hits Mabel again. K9 owes Colombian plug $20 million. Meech wants to meet his plug. Lawanda's on some shit with T stealing his items. PA tried to kill Lamar, and he killed 2 of them. B-Mick told Meech he was wearing a wire, and Meech took the 2 kilos. Episode 207. Meech doesn't want to wait for K9 to find a new plug or overpay once the supply arrives. Detective Brian kidnapped B-Mick for his kilos. T lets Meech know he never liked B-Mick. Mo wants Meech to work with her to kill Lamar. T is not with meeting the Colombians with Raisin. 10% is Raisin's price for hooking him up with the Colombians. T cashed out on the car ride business. Charles and Mabel went to the strip club. Meech was there. Brian and Jen took Smitty, fake kilos. Got the pics of T and Markeisha to try to flip Lawanda. Meech put the press on the Colombian. They want K9 dead. He wants to take on his debt for his life. Lamar is soaking up Mo's shit. Blackie's losing his life. Lamar took him to church to be saved. Swift couldn't save him. Nigga get out. Swift put a strap out of the robe. Boys get 300 kilos instead of 100 kilos from Colombians. Charles came to Meech, and Meech told him the truth. K9 says he knew what Raisin was already, and he would have took the connect as well. B-Mick found out mine's passed 2 days ago when he got out of the trunk. He's going to kill Brian. So 208, Meech wants to use a car wash to clean money, so he bought it. K9 got caught with 50 kilos by the feds. T questioned Meech about Denise and B-Mickey. Meech went to Cleveland and set up shop again. T tells Markeisha he's the connect now. Boom needs to get down and lay down. Mabel's bold as fuck coming in Charles and Lucille's house with that wop. Brian and Jen focus on Hoop now that the DEA is in the D. Lamar takes Blackie's ashes to Mo. Mo couldn't kill him in her crib when she had the chance. Meech brings Lucille and Nicole, gets to wear to the skating rink. He rented out. T lets Markeisha cut his tail off. Violation. Charles goes to the hotel with Mabel and gets caught by Lucille with a receipt. Lawanda went to Brian and Jen and told them to stay away from their family. Jen and Brian get in there. Meech found B-Mickey as he is headed to Brian's crib. Told Meech what he did to him, and his mom's is dead. Went to get the gun from Brian's crib, threw Kevin in the closet. Brian came home, and B didn't find the gun. Episode 209, Meech wants to get to Atlanta before the next 500 kilos arrive and lock down distributors. T believes B-Mick will take the deal from Brian, wants to take B-Mick to the A and leave him there for good. Brian asks Meech, was it his idea or B's to break into his house and lay hands on his son? B-Mickey needs a new beginning after Kato and Mons. PA niggas was tripping, trying to take the kid, Coach. ATL nigga wasn't with that shit. T sets up a hit on B-Mick. Pastor Swift came to pick up Lucille for dinner and wanted something else. Goldie wanted to introduce the boys to a realtor to buy stash spots. Kevin has trust issues with Pops, and Pops took the bait and let him go back to Mom's. Jen came through and blessed Brian again. He lied about handling shit. Lamar be punking the shit out of Alvin and showed up to Mo's with a $30,000 check for Zoe for college and a promise ring to Mo. Mabel came through and Lucille exposed Charles to Mabel. Mabel put out the mattress from Easy Rest Motel. Lucille went crazy on Mabel. Mo did some more coke with Lamar, tried to get Lamar to smoke some crack, and he killed her. Ty Washington, the other spot was a stash spot. He's in some high-rise shit, had to ask his woman to go out. Goldie talked to Meech about her sister, Sandra. Ty got hit. Meech had to go to his wife with his chain. B-Mick put out on T. Meech put out on B-Mick. Meech couldn't kill B. Markeisha called T about Boom getting caught up. Yo, that is the season so far. You know what it is. Current episode, New Beginnings. Synopsis. Meech and Terry finally handled Detective Bryant. Lamar and B-Mickey before charting the next big step for BMF expansion, which will change the course of their relationship forever. All right. Yep. Favorite moments. Quotables of the show, right? Let's do it. Once we got in the game, we started doing the chasing. T, the older T, the narrator T that was talking about how they used to get chased. You know what I mean? From the boys and all that stuff when they was younger. Now they doing the chasing. Hard part about the game as a player, you only see what's in front of you. You don't see the whole field. Narrator T, there when you're in the game, but you can't see the whole field. That's the hard part. No doubt. You need a to be able to see the whole game, you got to be out the game to oversee the shit that you ain't got to be a part of no more as a player. You know what I mean, you just a coach, you a owner, you over here making these other moves. I'm not dressed. Please turn around. Lucilla Charles. Tripping, yo. You think Miami Vice taxes work on me? I'm a motherfucking G, nigga. K9 and Brian and Jim, man. Maybe it's a good thing I got caught. God has given us a second chance. Or maybe God has given us a second chance, just not with each other. Lucille and Charles with her fly ass. Ashes to ashes, nigga. Goldie when they killed the man from the retired shop. All right, we ready? 7 things to know about episode 210, New Beginnings. Meech find out Mo's dead, opening scene. He had to disassociate himself from her to Brian to protect himself. Zoe confirmed it was Lamar because she called and he was at the crib. Meech let moms and Nikki know. Nikki cried. Nikki got to go, to this thing called Hair Wars. So Meech and T and all them go to Hair Wars. Nikki was fly as Hair Wars, had a little outfit on and shit. Hair was crazy. Meech met Bryant with this guy called Landerlin, a Lander-in or somebody, who saw Bryant throw J-Mo in the car. So they're like, yo, you threw J-Mo in the car, so you the last person that we seen him alive with. We can go to the boys and tell them all this shit. Oh, give us that fucking gun. So jumped that gun off the B-Mick. That was a gangster meeting for real because everybody showed up from different angles and all that shit. So T was like, yo, man, we got everything where we need to be at right now. Man, just freeze the Lamar shit, man. We don't need no more bodies off this shit. Meech's like, yo. Because T was like, yo, we're businessmen. We ain't no killers. And Meech's like, no, nigga, speak for yourself. Just like that. Nigga, speak for yourself. That's how Meech talk. So, you know what I'm saying? Meech basically said, fuck that. He's a killer and we going to finish the job. So he rolled up on Lamar, told him, with the help of Alvin, you know what I'm saying? Told him the crack would be his noose, getting tired around his neck. So Alvin helped him and gave him some money. Alvin was tired of shit getting beat upon and didn't know if this nigga was going to kill him. So you seen the fear in Alvin the last time Lamar came at him and pushed him on the ground. You saw that fear in that shot. Basically, Alvin Meech want to make Lamar a junkie until he loses everything. So he did take T's advice then. Meech did. So that was cool. Meech wants T to respect how he handles B. Mick. Then if I'm listening to you, I need you to listen to me and how I make a move. He wants to move to Atlanta and leave T and the D. Bought Charles a new guitar, had a going away Bon Voyage party. Told B. Mick he can't be a part of BMF no more. He's dead to him. So it was like Bon Voyage, Meech, Goldie. He go to Atlanta. Goldie told Meech to ask for Robert Green at Magic City to help him because she had to get out the game. And the Remy nigga saw him there. So we know what we going with next season. We got T and the D. They separated now, which is going to be bullshit because the best chemistry was always them two on screen together. I'm not going to like that. They're going to be limited with their time together. And they both got to have different. They both got different issues where they at. So we'll talk about that. T. He wants Meech to stay focused even though he's hurting, knowing he's hurting because Mo got killed, the mother of his daughter, youngest daughter. They have to find a new stash spot for the 500 kilos because the car wash can't be used because of Mo body being dropped off there. Marquisha and the boys got ran in on and tied up and called T. T takes in her and her children, let Meech know K9 got popped and he's snitching. Another word for the boys, but they ain't got to worry about K9 with them. T said they got a gas station to clean the money, and Meech like, I got the hair spot where Nikki works at to clean the money too. So at Hair Wars, T introduces Marquisha to the family. Nikki was like, I'm gonna get LaWanda tickets. She's like, no, you're not. But LaWanda was working at the shop where Nikki was working at. So LaWanda was there clowning her like, man, it was just crazy. And then Marquisha was like, man, you got the same haircut as me, bitch. You trying to be like me. Like, man, funny as fuck. So Marquisha walked off. And then she bumped into Saint. Saint told him to stay away from Boom's bitch or he won't be getting around anymore. And she's like, who you calling a bitch and all this shit? Like, a lot of shit happened at Hair Wars, like with Marquisha. Marquisha wasn't there. A lot of that shit wouldn't have happened. Like, you know what I mean? But you out here, T, faulty moves, styling and profiling with somebody's wife, fam. Like, you got to remember, T 17. But he said, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like I talked about earlier, T, after that, T wanted Meech to lay off the Lamar shit. Like, we got too much good things going on for us right now. We don't need to be fucking with Lamar like that. Let that shit ride. Because he don't want to lose Meech. You know what I mean? He talks about Meech talk about Neto, Saki, and Darius all got killed by Lamar. Fuck that shit. We got to get him out of the game. T told his pops he always want him in his son's life no matter what happens between him and his mom at the barbecue. So T is the king of the D now. Womb to the tomb. The separate ways shit might not have been the best for them as the story progresses. You know what I mean? Why? Saint rolled up on T and Marquise and let loose on the car. So we got to find out next season who got shot, who got hit. You know what I mean? This will be T's second time getting hit. You know what I'm saying? So this is the game, right? This is the dope game. This is what they want to be a part of. Lucille and Charles. Lucille is loosening the reins on Nikki a little bit. Let her model in Hair Wars. That shit was a dope part of the 90s. Like barbers and beauticians across the country would come to different spots. It started in Detroit, and I remember that shit because my pops used to go there in the 90s and shit. And the salon who had the best finger waves, who did this and that, you know what I mean? They would go and do shit. That shit used to be held at all these Midwestern cities, Milwaukee, Chicago, Detroit, wherever, right? But we know the originator of the shit is the D. Lucille got her ass dressed and walked out on Charles' ass talking that Bible shit. Charles wanted to have a family dinner. The boys obliged. Lucille came down fly as hell. Like now all of a sudden all her outfits fly. Like, whoa, she came down in like a cream tan outfit. That shit was cool. Side-eye Meech during the prayer, like, nigga, you praying? I wonder if you know, nigga, did you know your daddy was cheating on me? You know that's what it is, right? Lucille gave him the business in front of the family and shit, and his ass can't take and get up and walk away. Clearly, Lucille outfits have been banging since she took the bag from Meech. What was that, episode 208? To go to the skating rink? Man, her outfit's been banging. Taking that dope money while Charles shit is still whack. Just regular clothes and shit, man. Lucille and Charles told B. Mick they got him at Hair Wars. Lucille was with LaWanda all day. Like, she called. What she tell? Came to Marquise. She said, ain't you a little long in the tooth to be fucking with my son, bitch? Like, man, it was crazy, yo. Like, they was going at it. Long in the tooth. So Charles talking about, I found a new preacher for us. And Lucille said, I found a divorce attorney, man. We just got to go our separate ways. I ain't rolling with this shit. So at the party, Lucille had her hair done differently. You know what I'm saying? Had on this hot red ass fit. And Meech's like, man, Pops. Pops like, man. And Meech's like, man, I don't know, Pop, but you got to leave that shit alone, Pops. And she turned around and it was Lucille talking about, ain't nobody gonna dance with me. They didn't even know they was checking out. Meech checking out his mama, Charles, his wife, like, damn, cuz. Funny as fuck, yo. Brian and Jen. Shows Meech and T's Mo's body, which was dropped off to the car wash. They both questioned K9 and shit. Brian and Jen did. Talking about we got 3 witnesses that saw him shoot Coach and everything else, all the shit, all the dope, all the thing like that. Guess who come in? You know what I mean? Guess who come in? Peaches ass. So I'm telling everything and this and that. And he's like, oh, damn, fuck you, bitch. So, it's just, it's a lot of bullshit. But, K9 and G be all right. Cass stood up to the bully and tried to swing on him. He got hurt. Brian met with Meech and like, get that gun, nigga. We got you. Because you the last person seen with J-Mo. Kev took the gun and went back to kill the Chris cat at the park after he tried to fight him and didn't work. Problem is it would be Mick's gun. So now Kevin is in a hell of a predicament, which is tough now. Now Kevin is a triple murder suspect for J-Mo, Kato, and Chris. Man, they talking about B Mick fingerprints on there, but Kevin is in possession of the gun and Kevin fingerprints on there now too. So Brian lost his badge and gun for suppressing evidence. Jen is going to try to go flip B Mick, and my man from PA was there. That shit didn't work, so Brian went to take Kevin and took him a comic book, talked with him, sat out there, and he sat outside his cell with him, which was dope. But Bruiser is Brian, Kevin's little character, and that shit, you can see it hurt Brian, because he like, Bruiser is you, dad, but much more cooler. That's dope. But that's when Brian knew he focused on the wrong thing this whole time. Should have focused on Kevin instead of focusing on Meech and him. Because he got his son, and since he had his son, shit spiraled out of control, and he wasn't giving his son his divided attention, and that's all he wanted. He's focused on his other shit. Now his son turned into a killer. Man, that's tough. It's tough. B Mickey, the PA cat asked Meech to get rid of B. Jen came through. He told Jen, I'm not snitching, man. If y'all had enough on me, y'all would be arresting me right now. I'm not fucking with y'all. PA cat saw Jen leaving the crib, and Meech told him, you can't be BMF no more, baby. Lamar's sitting with that big ass plate of coke, understanding everything he lost. He lost everything. He grabbed Alvin's ass up, and Alvin better be careful before he gets killed. So that's what we saw, that look on Alvin's face. He said, enough is enough. this motherfucker, I can't trust him. This motherfucker gonna snap and kill me. So Lamar doing all that cocaine, and he smoked that, and he doing all that cocaine, seeing all them demons and shit. He thought he was seeing himself. Turns out he gave himself some crack to smoke, right? But he hit that shit and he's done now. Like he was so high that he didn't know, he swung on himself and all that shit. It was Alvin that gave him the crack. So Alvin is setting his ass up to die. And we know what happened. Meech came through, gave him favor. Lamar is a fucking dope fiend now, running through the city now. Destroyed him. K9. His old lady Peaches told him, like we said, where the bodies, weapons, and cash are. The feds want him to cooperate. He snitched on 3 crews, and a Colombian crew, right? But he didn't snitch on BMF, man. Love K9 for that. Goldie. Mike. From the car shop, tire shop, rim shop, whatever. Wants the boys. He believes they robbed them, came up in their establishment like, yo, I want $100K or I want them boys. I want $100K from you or I want them boys. You know what I mean? So she told Meech, when you show up, baby, you show out. You know how to show out. Mike came through shooting up the club, Goldie club, and Meech and Goldie killed his ass. Goldie took the last shot. So she told Meech, though, Mike was the mob's biggest earner, and she had her sister, Sandra, that she got to get out of the A. She went there. Sandra wasn't having it, though, right? So she also told Meech that Robert Fulton is the nigga they had to worry about, right? So her sister wanted Goldie to turn off the machine. Like, Goldie, I can't run in this state I'm in. It's time. You're going to have to let me go, live your life. I'm going to be with you, but you're going to let me go. Turn these machines off and flee by yourself. Meech was there for her and helped her turn off that machine. And that was a very, very, very hard scene to watch. But Monique killed that shit. You know what I'm saying? She killed that scene right there. She killed that whole shit, man. Word. All right. What I predicted. We see Meech and T outside of their parents' home with Meech saying we did everything we said we would, and T saying he didn't think it would cost us this much as far as, you know, the bodies they lost and everything that happened. Jim wants K9 to give her the names of all his local dealers. K9 last. He told him, my motherfucking G, I'm going to give y'all all these other little shit, but I ain't giving y'all T and Meech. Brian meets Meech and tells him I'm going to wipe that smile off his face. Meech tells him you can't because then I'm going to send my condolences as a little kid. Right? So we know what happened with that. We have somebody that saw Brian with J-Mo last, so you got to get that gun to be Mick. So then we see Brian hugging Kev. Kev got caught with killing Chris. Meech tells T it's our time. Yes, it is. T says he did not get back in the game to lose his brother, right? So all that shit. We see a party outside of the parents' house. That's a Bon Voyage Meech party because Meech is going to Atlanta. We see Meech with a gun, body bag with T Meech. We know that was Mo and all that shit. So we see Meech with that gun because he was going to get Lamar ass. So T tells Meech we're not killers, we're businessmen. Meech tells him to speak for himself because he wanted Meech to not kill Lamar. See Lucille, Goldie crying, Meech chasing someone and beating them. That was in the beginning. When they're talking about they chase people now, Lamar with the gun in his head with Meech holding it. All right. So next season predictions, right? 210 was episode finale, so we go on to the 300 series next week. This Boom influence on Saint, because now Saint was under Boom, but with Boom getting caught up now, Saint is running Boom's operation and business, it seemed like. So now, as it goes from the 50 and 12th Street boys, right, to you got Boom and K9 in them. Now we got everybody out the way. We just got now Boom people, which is Saint now. So Boom's influence on Saint is going to be very big with T in Detroit. So there's going to be a T and Saint war because Saint, the final scene was let loose on T and Marquisha because he told Marquisha stay away from Boom bitch. So Meech, we got Meech down in the A. He at Magic City to go meet the man, and Remy sees him, and on some Robert Fulton shit, we know that's gonna be some way tied into Meech down in Atlanta having issues. He ain't got Goldie no more because Goldie got to get on the run. He ain't got Ty Washington down there, so he's gonna have to make some alliances down there himself in Atlanta because he went down there by himself. So it's just going following the story, you know what I mean? But this is where everything split ways. That separation shit might have been the downfall of them. The DEA was on them, but maybe it's what made them last so long. I mean, we got to see. Shout out to all the actors, producers, director, sound engineers, video, editing, everybody. It was great season. You know, it has unbelievable moments of the show, like when Dog came up in the church with Blackie and shit. That shit was funny. You know, just other little small shit that happened. But overall, man, it's a great show. I believe Little Meech and what's the brother name? Little Meech and Da Vinci. They're two pretty good actors together, and their chemistry on scene is on the screen is really good. So just see where the show gonna go next year, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Confidence in the Klutch. BMF, Reverberation Podcast. Thank y'all for listening. You know, when this shit come out like in January, so I catch y'all in January 24. Y'all know I'm going right into Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 right after this. So, yeah, another pod coming today, y'all. Like always, bring you quality content, strong opinions, and facts, baby. Get your confidence together. Get your Klutch together. Listen to and follow the network on various platforms, Confidence in the Klutch.podbean.com, and wherever you listen to your podcast. Search Confidence in the Klutch. Follow, share, rate, and review is important. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at KNK. Visit us on Facebook at Confidence in the Klutch. Weekly, Donald Nelson, Deezy, Deezos, DZD, Deezos, Don P, Don D, Don Rilla. Host the BMF Reverberation Podcast, a Confidence in the Klutch podcast about the hit TV series BMF. Have a safe, healthy night. If you're listening during the daytime, credit grad down purpose, y'all. See y'all in 2024, man. Miracles and blessings. Everybody be safe out there, man. BMF, yeah. That's how we did it, baby. Peace. Confidence on 3, in the Klutch on 6. 1, 2, 3.
Confidence.
4, 5, 6.
In the Klutch.
Confidence.